Okay, good afternoon all. Ionis, how you doing? How you doing? Okay, so Merry Christmas to everyone. We're getting close now. Last couple of days, volume so far not too bad overnight. So obviously we had that massive big. Well, I say massive. It was a fair size, wasn't it? From the top down to the bottoms, it was. Not as much as I thought. It's about 87 points, but it went quick. So I'm not sure what caused that. The only thing I can think of is because we were hitting, I think that was all-time highs, and we're consistently breaking all-time highs. And it was going up slow, and it was really struggling to get up. And then all of a sudden it started coming down. We had a bit of a pullback, and then down it came. And then, I mean, look at that. It doesn't really matter where you sold there. You'd have, and that's exactly what I did. I took about 6.5 points out. Once this started, I just clicked sell, put a couple of points stop, and it hit me 6.5 points within a matter of 30 seconds. And then we had that pullback, and then it started going down a bit slower, so I just walked away in the end. I pushed my luck just clicking sell, to be fair, but didn't it come down? So, we've had some news this morning, final GDP, but you'd be hard pushed to find out where it was, to be honest with you. I just wonder whether we're going to pull back some of this. I think we've pulled back a little over 50% of it. So whether we're going to just maybe go sideways now or have a day or two down, I got no idea. But we had sort of like half a day there, 2 full days and a half a day there of constant up. Couple of days of sideways. I can't go back this far, but then we had that massive push after the news about the rate cuts next year. So interesting to see what's going to happen today. Volume overnight is not too bad actually. So market opens in about 2 minutes. So I'm assuming there'll be a lot of traders finished now for the Christmas holidays. There'll be 1 or 2 diehards sitting around, I suspect. So I'll trade today. I'll see what happens. I might just do a couple of hours or an hour or something. We'll see. So far the volume's okay. It'd be interesting to see what happens when the market opens. Whether it does pick up. Be interesting to see. So we've had this initial nice looking channel, that really strong pushing up. We've had a break, couple of legs back, couple of retests and another strong push up. So we've had a couple of legs back, a few attempts to go high and a bit of a drop. It looks like just a leg and a leg. So just a bit of a correction. So it'd be interesting to see whether we continue higher, because we have taken a chunk of it back, but I suspect we may get up to these highs. I mean, after that initial push down, sentiment's good, I think. We know we got these rate cuts, so I would suspect we'd take most of this back, or at least up to here, and then maybe range for a day or two until sort of Christmas is over. But that's just pure guesswork in all fairness. So, but after this push up, a break, a little bit of sideways, another strong push up. We're sort of having the same. If you look there, when we had that break, we had sort of 2 legs down, and we've got exactly the same there, just slightly bigger too. We got a little leg with a little green bar, another leg exactly the same as there. Couple of bounces, so 1, 2. So I would suspect we continue on a bit higher, but as I say, that's just, call it an educated guess. Okay, market is opening any second now, so let's see if that holds. Not sure about that, so let's get rid of that for now. So okay, market's officially open. So let's see how we get on today. So leg. If we can push above there and get a higher low, I suspect we were pushing higher. We'd push on higher. It is feathering out down the bottom. Let's see if we can get high or low. Just connect the dots. Yeah, there's maybe a spike in a channel there. Let's put that up to there. See if we can get a high or low. It's looking quite bullish, so it'd be nice to get a quick break below there if we can. I don't know whether we will or not. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Okay, looking for a bit of a pullback. Couple of legs down would be nice. So far, so good. Chat's quiet today. I'm assuming there'll be quite a few people have been breaking up now, which is probably why it's a bit quiet. There's what, 19 in, but I'm assuming a lot. I noticed there was a couple of messages going around the Facebook groups that people were finishing now, so it is probably going to be quiet today. So we'll see. But there's a reasonable amount of volume. Actually, I'm quite surprised. That's probably because of this big push down. There's probably going to be traders thinking about making something on the way back up, but we'll see. Okay, so we got a little channel going up. We got a break. Need a couple of legs really, or at least down and a higher low. So, you're doing. There we go. Kev, how you doing, bud? Exponential. Good day to you. So, did anybody catch that move yesterday? Did they? Did it drop? We don't often see a drop like that. I went and got my dinner and came back up just as it was happening. So I just clicked sell, which probably wasn't the wisest thing to do, but I got 6 points or 6.5 points in a matter of about 10 seconds, I think. It didn't half drop. I did wonder whether it was news or something, but I did hear a couple of things. Someone said something about sentiment. I don't know, but I thought things were looking good. But then all-time highs, you probably expect to have a pullback. And it did really struggle, didn't it, to get up? Okay, so touch, touch, touch. Let's see how this finishes. It's held there, but there's a doji. So whether it is that or not, I don't know. Leg back. Touch, touch, touch. I'm not sure about this because it's not the best looking channel. In fact, it's a pretty horrible looking channel. It may not even be a channel. What I think I'm best off doing is just connecting the dots, I think, and just leaving it at that. Let's have a look. It may be a range. It's hard to say at the moment. I'm looking at the NQ as well, and the NQ does look like it's going a bit sideways. So it may come down to the bottoms again. Let's have a look. Yeah, just quick pull the NQ in quickly. It's going a bit sideways here. We've had a couple of legs down, a leg up, and we could come down to this bottom again. It's possible. Push up, break, push up, bit of sideways. There may be something large there. I don't know. The ES has given me the impression it's going up, but this is a bit stagnant at the moment. It could come down to the bottom again. We've got a leg down, a bit of sideways, in which case going long here might be a bit risky. So I'm staying out of anything here. There isn't really a setup in all fairness. Let's just put that on there because it does make a difference. So going long here is a bit risky. If we can get a higher low up here and this maybe bounces and pushes up, then there may be an option. But so leg, possible higher low. Trouble is if this comes down to the bottom here, which it's looking like it might do, leg down, bit of sideways, leg down, retest this. That could send this bar below here, possibly. In which case this may be sideways and I might have got this wrong. There is obviously the possibility of a range here, but what I will say is we're moving up. So as long as we can hold here, yeah, we're at the bottom now. So if this pushes up, we got a really nice leg and a leg. That's looking quite nice. If that finishes bullish, we've got a nice leg and a leg. That might be an option to go long. So let's see what happens. Sideways push up. Yeah, I think the safe way is to treat this as a range at the moment. Okay, that's triggered. Leg, that's triggered. So one would assume it's going to push up because it's quite bullish at the moment, but it might not. It hasn't. So let's have a look. I'm surprised that did that because we've had a touch, 3 touches there and a drop out and quite a nice bullish bar after there. So that's telling me maybe we're coming down. So it definitely helps, I think, having the NQ to look at as well, because it does. Interesting. It does give you another picture from another perspective. So I'm surprised that did that. Leg and a leg, triggered, stopped out and pushed up. I didn't think that was a weak bar. I thought it looked okay if we're going to bounce off the bottoms. It looked as good as, I think. So we've had a leg up, a break, and a push up and a new high. A couple of legs down, and we're going a bit sideways. So your guess is as good as mine. Laufey, how you doing, buddy? So your guess is as good as mine where we're going. But if I look on the daily, I suppose it's not surprising we had that drop. This is what it's been over the last few weeks, a month or so. We've had this downtrend. That actually goes a bit lower. We've had this downtrend overshoot. We pushed up, trapped them as shorts, didn't we? And then pushed up strong. We've gone a bit sideways. We've broken out of it, but we're pushing up and running along this midline. So I suppose it was we're due for a pullback, and we came right back. Right to that line, which is where you'd probably expect it to, and then we've literally crossed over, picked up, and this is pushing up. So, this is looking kind of bullish. So it'd be interesting to see what happens today. But the volume started off better than yesterday. It really struggled to get up yesterday. I thought that might be holiday, the volume for the holiday, but based on what I can see this morning, I mean, it took ages to get up there. We've had more price action already, and that took us to, realistically, well, way past when I was finished. That's what happened when I was trading. We've had that now, really, so it's probably because it just pushed up. People weren't, I suppose people weren't confident about going long when we were bouncing off all-time highs, so we'll see, so. Okay, touch there, touch. Fit in nice at the bottom, so clearly ranging. So push up, break, push up. I would say from this, more likely to continue on up. I would have said so, but you never know. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's going to come down. This is starting to look a bit bearish. Let's see. There's a bit of a lower high there. I'd say there's a good chance we're going to get down to the bottoms here. This looks to me like we're going to break below that. Yeah, we're definitely making lower highs, aren't we? This time it barely got up to the middle line before it dropped quickly, so I'd say there's a chance we're going to come down here. I would probably call this overnight highs, so I'd say we're definitely going to come down a bit more there. It's looking a bit rangy, but we've only really hit it once, so maybe it isn't. Maybe it's just a leg and a leg. Maybe it's a push-up, leg and a leg before we go up. That would make sense, actually. 2 legs of correction before we possibly go higher. So let's put that there. See where this takes us. Okay. Interesting. So we got a push-up, another nice strong push-up, 1 leg, 2 legs of correction, and a big strong bull bar off there. So leg, 2 nice legs of correction. So I would say if this manages to push up, we could get some more upward stuff now. So that's interesting. Let's see if this holds, but I do like that. Perfect measured leg. Strong push up, bit more sideways, another strong push up, couple of legs of correction. So let's see if this continues. Target filled, second entry short. Second entry short, where'd you go here? I suppose you must have done, really. Down. That's any second entry short I can see. Okay, so this is looking positive. If we can get above here, then hopefully leg up. Couple of legs and then maybe into another channel. Apparently there is some software you can download to change those voices. What's it called? Company emailed me and said, do I want a free copy of it? Can't remember what it was now. I can't remember. You can change sounds and there's a second entry indicator in there and that, which I've avoided second entry indicators because I wanted to just learn to spot them rather than have somebody keep telling me. but I would like to get rid of that stop filled thing. Counting off the double bottom. You're about here, are you? Leg. Second entry short. Whatever they are. Second entry short. On the oh, sorry. I was going to say, I started looking at here, trying to find one. Okay, yeah, I got you. So are we going to break above this again? I'm not so sure here. So we've pushed in, we've come back, and it looks like we're sort of testing that bottom. It's hard to say at the moment. I do like the fact that we've had after a nice strong move up, we've had two nice legs down, legs of correction, whatever you want to call them. Excuse me a second. Sorry about that. Oh, God, kids. Interesting. So I do wonder whether we are coming down here. Leg. Perfect measured leg, right from the top, right to the bottom, right at the top, right to the bottom. Wish I could share pictures. Yeah, I don't know why you can't. It doesn't make sense whether, I don't know. There is though, what's it? The Discord. You can use that if you want. I've not had it on lately, purely and simply because it's having time to look at it sometimes, but I'll open it. If you're not remembering Discord, you can just hook up to it, and at least that way you can. Let me just open it up. So if anybody does want that, where is it? Yeah, here it is here. So if you click on this one, the Trader's Den, you can post stuff in there. So there's a link on my website, I think. Yeah, there's a link in the description below. So if you want to post something, just go ahead. That way I can see if you want to show me something or I've got something wrong and your picture's better or something. I'm all right with that. Post away. And have you ever blown up an account? Right, I'll just read that bit and nothing else. Once or twice, let me have to read the rest of it. That was not due on tilt. Now, that's a really interesting question because I would say no. Absolutely 100% categorically no. I haven't. It's a really interesting question, that, mate, because I've thought about that a lot. I did mention it a couple of weeks ago. I can't ever remember blowing up account from taking genuine trades, which is why I decided to go back from one contract to two contracts, because my issue was revenge trading, so it doesn't really matter whether I'm trading one or two. The beauty of doing two is it does get you to that safe area quicker, but that's a really good question, mate. It's an important question as well, because if you've been doing this, let's say for a year and a half, 2 years, I would say in majority of cases, excuse me, you would have enough skills to be able to make money. The bit that gets in the way is obviously the psychological side. But if you can manage the psychological side and just trade based on what you see, and then when the trade's over, what I'm trying to do is to think, okay, forget the money, which is why I said all I've done is invested into this account is $140 for the PA fee and $18 or $16, whatever it is, for the evaluation. So I'm into this account for $160, less than $160. So that's all I've got on the line, which is not a lot of money. So I'm trying to think, forget the money, just trade the damn chart. You know what I mean? Just trade it as you see it. Forget the money, just work the process. Sit here until you see a trade, take it, commit, regardless of whether it wins or lose, forget it, move to the next one. And that's what I'm trying to focus. But it's a really interesting point there, because I am no different from you guys, and I have my problems with the psychological side. I am getting better. I am getting more control. Those emotions aren't having the, and they won't. If you get those emotions when you trade. If you trade every day for a year or 2 or 3 years in a row, those emotions are not going to have the same effect on you, because you'll be used to them to a degree. And when you eventually get control of those emotions, your skill level should quite comfortably be able to. And if you can just do that and play the game Monday to Friday and then walk away, I think that's when you'll succeed. But it's an interesting point, that, mate. It's just a huge uptrend from last night. Yeah, it probably is. Let's do it from there, actually. So it's going to come into, it may even be there, actually. It's going to hit a point. As we know this, it'll go up, it'll go sideways, it'll find support and go up again and then go sideways. Generally goes from the left-hand top corner to the bottom right-hand corner, finds somewhere, some place that seems to be the edge of a, sometimes you never quite know, but the fact that Bungie was doing this yesterday a bit and then it was pissing around, wasn't it? It was going up a bit, then drop. But it does seem to, that's the best looking thing we've got there. So if we go right from the bottom, we're touching a couple of times here, we're touching a couple of times here, we're touching here, it's closed there. So this is looking like, a launch pad for a potential move further up. But it is early days yet, because we've got a leg down and sideways. We could have another leg down. It could do a lot of things, but I agree. After this two strong moves, you want to get out, take your profits, but if you still think the market's bullish, you're gonna be looking for areas to get in. And the fact that it's still slowly working up, I think, is a good indicator that we're going to push up. My only slight conflicting problem is this at the moment, but it's probably something of the same. In fact, there is a higher low there, which I don't think is a bad trade. It is just a higher low, but it's very close to these tops, and it could. I don't like what this is doing at the moment. It seems to be making lower highs, so that would keep me out of that trade. And based on what I'm seeing there, it was probably a good decision. We'll see. There is a higher low, and that's a failure as well, because there's probably going to be some shorts there, but I still would not like to be in that trade now, because this is coming down by the looks of things, and if this comes down, this will follow, so that's going to get stopped out, I would say, for sure. There you go. So it is looking like it's starting to work up that line. There's a second entry long there. First entry, second, well, yeah, sort of 2 legs, isn't there? And a higher low, which usually is a good indicator. But that's the trouble, really. It's okay drawing these bigger channels, but if you don't know where, the majority of traders are going to think this is the side of the channel, it can get you into a spot of bother. Whereas if you haven't got that, you're not going to be going long into the top of a range, are you? So I think really, and I've been guilty of this myself, trying to draw channels and channels and channels instead of thinking about, with price action, we grab 2 points, which is a tiny fraction. So we don't really need these bigger bigger channels, and I think sometimes it's best just to focus on what it's doing, because currently it's clearly in a range, albeit it is moving up a little bit, but the NQ is moving down a little bit, so I wouldn't be surprised if this does come down and hit this area a bit lower, but yeah, so it's, I think at the moment it does look like that it may push up, but you have to treat this as a range at the moment. So obviously if you're going to be shorting at the tops and buying at the bottoms, but as you guys know, I'm a bit naff at it. It's not one of my strong points, tops and bottoms. But yeah, I mean, well, when we were here, it's indicating that it's likely we are going to push up, but you just don't know. Because we have had quite a strong move this morning and then another strong move. So you would think, leg back, that we would do some more, but we thought that yesterday. It kept looking like it was going higher and higher, and all of a sudden, market tanked. I think it dropped about 1% yesterday, which doesn't sound like a lot, but in such a short time. But we have recovered over half of that, I think, so. I wouldn't have imagined it would have done that yesterday, but you know, I looked at the news, and you know, we'd repeatedly hit all-time highs. So you know, are you going to go long right at the very top? Not really. And then when it started to go, I didn't even wait for a setup. I just clicked sell, and I kept following it down, and we had a little bit of a pullback, and I got 6.5 points, and I just thought, that's it, that's my bit of luck. Done. It is hard to watch a market drop that quick and not think about it in the sell button. And I think if it's falling that quick, you're probably going to get away with it. That's probably one of the only times I would consider just hitting the sell button and not waiting for a setup if it was really tanking and didn't it go down. Especially that bit from there to there. You can see, the trouble is you never quite know how far it's going to go, but look at that. I mean, it doesn't often drop that steep, but it doesn't matter where you sold. Anywhere there, you'd have made money, even that top bit. Probably even down there, either if you'd have picked a bearish bar at the top, any one of these, that one, any of those, you'd have made money. So it's not often I do just hit the button, but my self-control is better. But it's not perfect, and it is hard to see the market drop that quickly and not think about, I want some of it, which is why I think I got 6.5 points. I just thought, right, there's my bit of luck, now walk away, and I did. My wife had started. I went down to cook dinner, but my wife had started it, so I came back up and ate it. But yeah, we had that sort of really slow wind up, didn't we? And the market seemed really slow, which is surprising for a nice uptrend. You know, if you think it's working like this, to get in on it. And then we sort of seemed to have a couple of legs back, and it did indicate that we were going to get another one. And then we had that initial drop, bit of a pullback, retest this bottom, and then it flipping dropped, and quickly as well. It took about 45 minutes to do that, so yeah, it was a big old drop, that. Yeah, see what I mean? I said I wouldn't be surprised if it gets down here. It did look like we were working up, but it does that sometimes, and it sort of teases you in. I do wonder that the algorithm that work these markets do lay down interesting, you know, areas to get in for maybe less experienced traders. As mean as it sounds, I wouldn't be shocked if that's what it works. Or let's call it laying down foundations and little teasers for people who take up a weak position. But it's sideways here, but obviously then we've come down. So, but this looked like it was coming down, which kept me on that. So it is useful having the NQ, because if this comes down, this follows it, or vice versa. But it's good to just, if I'm looking at something, just to look at that and think, you know, because this looked like it was working up, this looked like it was working down, so it kept me out of a trade, or potentially kept me out of a trade. So I think it's useful to have. I know a lot of other traders who do trade, you know, will have things like the NASDAQ the DAX, the S&P, maybe the SPY and stuff like that, just to see what the general market sentiment is. Because sometimes if other markets, I've been trading this before and it's been stagnant, and someone said to me the NQ's dropping quick, and then all of a sudden this does. So it is good to have a picture of at least another chunk of the market and what that's generally doing. But we're clearly just ranging now. But there's enough volume in here to keep me interested. So far, so good. But I tend to not pick. It's hard to know where the general feel is at the moment because of these. You do wonder whether we've, and we'll see this a lot of the time. We'll pull in from the top corner, and we'll come down, we'll go sideways, and we'll drop out the right. It's almost like a mirror image, and same with a push up. We get a push up sideways and put like a bull flag, but. You scalped it, triple test. Where'd you go along there? Yeah, I don't like picking bottoms and tops, especially when they're like that. I would much prefer the bottom of that body sat on the top there. I tend to avoid those because I'm just not very good. I'm not very good read at those. And the fact that it could have come a little bit lower. But that's what I mean. If you're the type of trader that takes those regularly and does really well, then that's part of your arsenal and you need to keep it. But I don't seem to have a great deal of luck with them, so it's not one of my strong points, so I tend to avoid them, but monitor them. But we all have different types of trades that suit us more, really, don't they? You know what I mean? So we got a leg down, a bit of a pullback. Possibly another leg down. This to me, we've broken out the bottom of this range. We've pulled back in, we've broken out again, we've pulled back in, and we've broken further. So this to me looks like it's coming down. It looks to be like a bit of a range there, maybe. Channel, yeah, we're coming down. I think that looks kind of nice to me. So this is going to break out the bottom. So I'm glad you took your points there, because I would expect this to drop below there. How many was available? Yeah, you'd have got 2. But as far as I'm concerned, if you get 2 points, it's worth taking. So let's see what goes on here. We went sideways and we're dropping out the bottom again and again and again. And every time we do, we're getting lower and the tops are getting lower. So scalp that one down and back up. Yeah. If I was the type of trader that was okay with losses, I would expect a short there and a short there and a long there to work more times than not. So even if you're going for 1-to-1, it would still be worth doing it. But I prefer to take less trades and less losses. But there's different ways of doing it. Some people might, instead of take a scalp, they want to get 4 or 5 points every time. So their win rate might come down to sort of 50%. But if they're winning, 3 times 1 loss, it's still worth doing. Yeah, so leg a leg. So fortunately that made it. But yeah, I'm not a fan of them. But you'll get these right more than not. So even if you're doing 1-to-1, or even 2 points, I think it's probably still worth doing them. So we got leg. Yeah, see, this is going sideways, but this looks like it's coming down to me. So if this is coming down, I don't want to be going along there. It is useful to have this. So look at this coming down now. Well, it dropped a bit, so did this. So, but it is a bit congested, so it could pull back up to the EMA. But look at this flickering. I can see the red line as well. They're both going more or less the same, but yeah, see what I mean? So if you're thinking about taking something, I mean, there wasn't a setup here, but if you're thinking about taking something, buying the bottoms, the NQ is telling me we're coming down, so that would keep me out of a long trade. So it's really useful having this to help in the decision-making process. And obviously you've got the option that if this goes stagnant, that there may be a trade there. So that looks like either just 2 legs or a possible channel. If we can get to the bottom, pull back up, retest this and come down. Ooh. Leg down. I do know traders who'd short that leg down, push back up. Big strong bullish bar triggered. Interesting. Oh, interesting. So there's going to be some support along here. I'm looking at the top of it here. It's the bottom of it on here. So this may. Let's see what happens. I expect it to stall a bit here. Maybe push up or go sideways. Well, that's a bit of an overshoot on there. So I'd expect either some sideways or a bit of a pullback. I do much prefer the speed of this. I don't like it when it's slow. This is a much better speed. Yeah, and that's why I tend to try and avoid these channels if I can. Because if you put a channel like that, your natural thoughts are we're going along looking for longs, and it's very easy to get stuck into some, thinking we're going to go long. And I would say this is probably going to be a range day, maybe. I'd expect it after a strong move. We had that really strong move up about 3 or 4 days ago when we had the announcement of rate cuts, and we had 2 days of sideways, and then we hit all-time highs yesterday and we had that massive drop. So I would expect a day or 2 of sideways, in which case I would expect to get down here somewhere. Let's have a look. I'll tell you what, I'll get rid of the news on here. I don't really need that. Okay, it's just getting in the way a bit, really. That's better. Clearer picture. So, it's quite a big old range, I will say. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It's 45 points from top to bottom if it is a range. It's a fair old range, but let's see what happens when it gets to the bottom here. Because I don't doubt there'll be some sort of support there. So possible second entry short. Mind you, this is an overshoot. As we know, overshoots often can result in a reversal or a correction, so I don't really want to be on short. If you look at the ES, it's sort of like 2 legs back to there, and it's an area where you would short, but because of the overshoot and the NQ, it just puts me off getting into something there. Or is it an overshoot? It's hard to say. It may just be a channel of its own. I would say it's an overshoot. It has triggered. But it's an inside bar there anyway, so I don't know. If this is an overshoot, I'd expect that to go up and stop that out, in which case I don't want to be going in, getting into a short here. That's not coming down as strongly as I'd have liked. Let's have a look at this. Touch. Well, I don't know, is it? It does look like a channel. It may just be sideways with a couple of legs. But that to me looks like a bit of an overshoot, and if it is, I would expect that to maybe trap some shorts and push up. It's more of a precaution really, staying out here, because there's a possible lower high there, but with this looking like it may push up. There's no setup there anyway, it's an inside bar, so I doubt you'd have traded there, but yeah, I don't know, some people may. Let's have a look. Possible lower high here, possible lower high here, because of the overshoot, or it looks to me like it's touching quite nice at the bottom. Once, twice, it's only twice, but it does look like a channel. And if it is an overshoot, then I'd expect it at least to pull up to the EMA, which would take out that short stop there if anybody did take anything. Yeah, there's no way that's going to push up and not take out that. Yeah, so if you did get in there, boom. Way that pushed up, there'd have probably been some short stops there, and probably there, touch, which is why I stayed out of there. Yeah, so it is useful to have this. If that would have finished a little bit better, I get why people would have taken that short, but the fact that the overshoots here is indicating to me that this is likely to push up. So that kept me out of a possible say. So I think it's useful to have this. It would help you keep out of the odd maybe bad decision, poor trade. It's definitely useful. So, I mean, I wouldn't have gotten to there personally, but if that would have been a couple of ticks higher, then I get why people may have taken it. Excuse me. So, let's just sling him out of the way a minute. Let's have a look. So, I would say, by the looks of things, let's call that the range. Bounce, push up. We've come down. We may still come down and retest this. See, as we know, when you get an overshoot here, a lot of the times we'll just get a matching one the other side, and then it'll continue on down. Depends how bearish the market is. And we've had a little bit of a break, not as much as I would expect, but if this is a channel, a range, which is probably likely, we've had a break there, then I would expect it to get down to the bottom. So if there is a lower high here and something interesting enough leg down, one attempt to go, if we can get maybe another attempt to go higher, something bearish, and this doesn't stop us from going short or thinking short, there might be an option there. So okay, so try to go along, so there's possible failure there. So if that triggers and comes down, let's see. Okay, so the bearish bar was triggered and stopped out. So are we going to push up, or now indeed are we going to come down? Let's have a look. Because there's a failed second entry short there, but it's stacked and it's triggered you and it's come down. So if this keeps coming down and takes that out, I'll be looking for a short option here. Channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure, drop. So I'll keep an eye on this. Let me just check. There's plenty of space down to the bottoms. It does look like it's ranging. I want this to break a little bit higher, but it's stacking, but it is stacking on top of the EMA. So after this, I would expect something here. But that's if you've drawn your channel like that. You may not. You may discount that and draw it from there, possibly. Or even maybe there. Excuse me. Okay, so channel down, break out the bottom, break out the top. So are we going to continue down now, or are we going to reverse? Okay, so like channel down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, possible failure. If this can push down below the EMA and give us a lower high, I'd expect that to come down here. Obviously depending on what this is, what story I'm getting from this. So what I will say is we got a touch, we got a touch, we got a touch. That's kind of nice. I like the way it fits, looking nice. So a couple of legs up. It could come down. Maybe not now. Lance, I don't mean to cause you any grief, but I'm just concerned about the way you're trading, especially after taking a loss. I like being able to watch your stream, but I know everyone has their limits. If you blow up account again, you might not want to come back. No, I will, mate. Don't worry about me. I've blown many accounts and I always come back. I'm all right after a loss at the moment. In fact, I've been quite a bit better. I took a loss the other day and went away, so all good actually. So no, don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm fine. Took a loss. In fact, I took a $695 loss the other night, and didn't blow me account. Managed to come back. So things are actually better at the moment. But no, I'll come back, don't worry. He's better. No monitors have been thrown out the window lately. No, I haven't. I've moved to a different room anyway. I've only got a small window in this. I don't think the monitor would fit. It did get me a nice shiny new 27-inch in the end anyway, so it was all good. No, you don't worry about me, bud. I'll come back. I've been streaming now for 12 months and I've blown, what am I on? PA account number 43, I think, so I've blown a fair few of them. Mate, to be fair, learning this business, you're going to blow accounts, and the only way you last and you get somewhere is just to continue to come back. So that's what I've been doing, mate. The only way that's going to stop me from coming back is certain death. That's the only way. Being in a pine box is the only way I wouldn't come back, so don't worry about that. I'm a keeper. You're not going to get it away from me that easy. I got more misery for you. Don't worry about that. Oh, Sam, how you doing, buddy? So, yeah, Merry Christmas to everyone anyway. We're 4 days away. 4 days away. So I bet someone got a couple of Christmas gifts yesterday with that market, didn't they? Can you imagine shorting it just at the right time and dragging down your stop? I think it went down about 90 points all in all, didn't it? Imagine getting a chunk of that. Okay, so it does look like we're just ranging at the moment. Up, down, up, down. In fact, I may even move that a bit. No, let's just leave it there for now. Push up, down, up, down. It's hard to say at the moment. It might not be. It might just be a push up. It might just be sort of, I don't know, a couple of legs down, then followed by, who knows. But we had that overshoot there, which kept me out of a short trade here. And as we know, overshoots often result in either corrections or reversals. And that, to me, looks like the start of a reversal. So what I'd like to see is a push-up, a break, and then continuation on, so maybe a wider channel. So somewhere in the region of this or something. In fact, that would look quite nice actually. Right off the bottom and tucked in there for that previous swing or the next swing. So I would expect if we do have a reversal, then a pullback to this side, maybe a bit of sideways or whatever, and then, excuse me, continuation on if we do that. Let's have a look what we're doing here now. Okay, touch, 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 push up, sideways. Okay, yeah, a couple of legs back here would be nice. To 2 legs back, and then a continuation up. So a leg up, couple of legs of correction, another leg up in this bigger channel. And I would say there's a possibility of having the same thing here. So I would probably take that for there, and maybe put that there somewhere along the lines of that. Yeah. But obviously we need to be careful going along into this. So it does look a bit rangy, but it might not necessarily be. We might just have a couple of legs up, a little bit of a range here, then a drop, followed by another move. So it's hard to say really. So I'm just for now, I'm going to put that down as the main area of the range, and this might have just been, we'll see, speculation at the moment. Wow, interesting. That does look like a pullback to me. That looks like just a reversal. So perhaps it just hits a bit of up and down. Oh, how's Bitcoin doing? As soon as it gets to that 44,000, we come back. Well, I can't believe Solana, flipping out, it's just going up and up and up. Every day there's a bit of green. It's 8, 10, 12%. Solana's gone up 400% the last about 2 months. I had about 40 of them not so long ago. Okay, interesting. So, channel down, break. Let's have a look. Gotta be careful going short here because technically we've had a break at a new low. There's a bit of resistance there, so touch. Okay, so we had this channel overshoot. So we've had a pull out this side, pull out that side, and then a quick drop. So we may have a leg and a leg. In which case we come down. So that would give us an opportunity to short this if that's the case. Okay, so leg, break, leg, maybe a lower high, but it's congested, and so is this. So this could be going up, or I got no idea. No idea. Leg, one push up, second push up, failure, come back down. Who knows? Excuse me a sec. Leg. Trouble is, this is quite congested, isn't it? So maybe a channel going up there, we'll see. As long as this holds. If this comes down and drops, and then this will. Is there an opportunity for a short trade there? Possible. It's like a bear flag, isn't it? Trouble is, before I want to take a trade here, I want to see that break below there. It'll probably be too late then. So, it's just clearly congested, so there's no trade there really. Could do anything. There is a failed second entry short, but see if it traps that short there. Trying to go like one size failed second entry short. If it does trap that short, I'd have preferred it to trap that short actually. And then if the NQ starts to push, who the hell knows? Anybody watched Die Hard this year yet? I don't think Christmas is Christmas until John McClane's thrown Hans Gruber off the top of the Nakatomi building in RS. I know they're showing it at the local cinema where I live. £5 to go and watch it. I might watch it actually. I do like Die Hard. Okay, if we can get a higher low here. Trouble is we've got to channel the break at a new high, so mind you, I think the second one's more Christmassy, isn't it? Because it's sort of like snowing, isn't it? It's more winter time. Yippee-ki-yay. That's it. I do like them. It's a shame about him, actually, isn't he? He's quite ill, isn't he? I think he can't communicate. It's a real shame someone like him And I don't think I've seen a bad film. He comes over as a really nice guy. You don't like to see anybody like that, especially someone who's played action heroes most of his life, most of his adult life. Real shame, actually. Real shame. But he does look like he's got a really supportive family, so that's all good. Yippee-ki-yay. What's it died as well, didn't he, a few days ago? The black guy, sort of comedy actor. I really like him, actually. He was in House, wasn't he, for a while? And he was in, was it something 59? Ladder 59? I can't remember now. Something my wife watches a comedy, but House with Hugh Laurie. He was in that for a while when Hugh Laurie was in rehab. He was his doctor. Yeah, he died 65. That's young. I like him, actually. He's a really nice guy. Real shame, that. We have lost some good ones in the last 2 years, haven't we? It's a shame. Does this look like it's going up? It kind of does. But I don't like this breaking a new high, so it could just turn tail, couldn't it? It may go up. It's not the type of... Well, there's no real setup there, in all fairness, is there? And I don't like the way it's had a break. A couple of legs up. I wonder. Break a new high. 2 legs up, bearish bar. If we get a lower high here, it'd be interesting to see what happens there, because that looks like a push up failure. If that comes down and stops out that bullish bar there, which it looks like it's going to, well, that came down really quick, didn't it? I wonder if that's a trade. It's possibly a second entry short, but it is congested. I'm not a fan of this. And yes, that's come down quick, but it's come down and stopped right on the EMA. But if that goes below there, then I'd say this. The trouble is, this is gone now, isn't it? Most of it's gone. So, leg up. It has broken below there, so. Lower high will be the only thing really that will get me interested in going short, because that could trap some shorts there and push up. That doesn't look like it's in a hurry to come down. A lower high, that will get me interested. It does look like it's setting up for a quick push, but that's the thing with the NQ. It moves that quick. It can change in a second. 1 minute it's looking like it's closing down here, and then all of a sudden it turns. 1 minute it's going, there we go, then pulling back. I don't like it when it teases you, because it does look like it's designed a certain way to move, to draw you in. And until we get a lower high, see what I mean? That's finished a perfect doji, right on the EMA. That doesn't really tell you nothing. And this is just congested, so in all fairness, it may come down, but the setup's a little bit... It's weak, isn't it? If you do go short there, you're going above the EMA. It's clearly congested. This isn't looking terribly clear at the moment. So if we get a lower high here and a lower high here, there's certainly distance to come down. So channel up break, 2 pushes up to a new high, push below the EMA. So well, the trouble is you weren't know that was going to do that. EMA's flat, that closed above the EMA. It could have triggered and pushed up. You just don't know, unfortunately. but we need a lower high. Leg down, pull back. There, that's broke below, so it is a second entry short that, so a bit of a pullback is fine for another leg down, leg, leg. Same here, leg, leg. Leg, leg. If we can get something there. That would take us below that bar there, so that'd be interesting. So, okay, if this comes down for a lower high, I'll take that. Let's
Order
just
submitted.
get ready, but it's got to close on its low for me. So what I like is leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure. So this is looking quite positive. So a second entry short from here, forget that. That's out of the question anyway, so it would have to be a second entry short. Let's just have a bit of a, so we're going to leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure, and then down. If that does pull down with those legs, I'd expect to come down here. So this would have to be a second entry short, so we need to get up here a bit really. Come on, break above there. There we go. Now come down bearish, and I'm happy with that.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Okay, let's see if this is any better.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure.
Order cancelled.
Okay, leg down. One attempt to go higher. Second attempt to go higher. Fairly. If that drops quickly. We'll see. Oh dear. If not, I'll just right click and thingy it. That's tempting.
Order submitted. Order cancelled.
Okay, there's a higher low there. Probably going to take out some shorts, but there's just no setup for me, unfortunately. Oh, so tempting to go short there. Oh, possible second entry long off here. It's so congested there, see, so let's have a look. Oh, just, you got no idea what it's going to do here. There is a lower high there. We've got a leg down, one attempt to go high, second attempt to go high, but it's still holding on the EMA at the moment, so. Ooh. As tempting as that is to go short, it's clearly congested, so it's not safe to do it. It may work, but it could completely go the other way. Yeah. The thing is, it is look like a penguin trade here. We got a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go higher, failure. Oh, I'm so tempted. May have to be a lower high, I think, is the safer option. Oh, yeah, bummer.
Order submitted.
Let's see if it comes back and gets us. I fear not. Yeah, it was a lower high. The bit that got me interested was leg down, two attempts to go higher, Might be too late now. Yeah, it is. Lad, what can you do?
Order cancelled.
The trouble is, at the moment, that was looking congested. It could go either way. And this is congested as well. It could trap the short there and push up, and then you got a second entry long, because at the moment we are going up. But from a penguin's point of view, it's a leg down, one attempt to go higher, second attempt to go failure. The trouble is, he doesn't normally take it till it closes below there. So whether he'll take it here or not, I don't know. But for me, it went down too quick, too far. So there's nothing I could do, unfortunately. I like the setup, but in all fairness, it's clearly stacked there, and it could go either way. I'd say there's more chance it's going to work, but unfortunately, too blooming late. Yeah, it just, I mean, literally it moved quick. There's nothing you could do. It just went, unfortunately. I would say there's probably going to be some longs there. There may have even been a few there. How far have we got further to go? We have possibly. So it'd be nice to break these lows, channel down. So there is still distance to go, I think. Unfortunately, we're that far away from the EMA and there's no setup there. A bit of a pullback might have been an option, but this is probably going to go lower, I'd say. Certainly to this measured leg, maybe even a bit lower. The only way I'd get in here, so there was a bull bar which triggered. So a quick pullback. Nice bull trap. A bit of a pullback. That might be an option. We're going to get a bit closer to the EMA though. Let's just get an order ready. Just
Order submitted.
I mean, it could come down to here, possibly a bit lower. It's just too far away from the EMA, in all fairness. No. It's too far from the EMA. I'd expect it to probably work, but it could trigger you, push up a bit, and then give us a run. It's a bit too far, really. Excuse me a sec. Let's see if we can get another leg back up here. Let's just
order cancelled.
It's probably going to work, but it's just way too far for the EMA. You just can't take that, in all fairness. Evaluation 100%, but not on a PA count. I was on an evaluation. I'd probably take that blindfolded with one arm behind my back. But I'd try and behave myself on a PA account. I'll be surprised if that stop doesn't get nicked, because it's a bit of a weak position. It might not. But if I'm going to take a shorty, it's going to be a bit higher than that. So I'd want it to push up, take out that that stop, and then drop bearish, in which case we'll have a second entry short, but it's just too far. It does look like it's going to come down, but it's a bit more of a gamble, that is. It looks like it's about to drop there.
Order submitted.
Is it a gamble I want to take? No. It just looks like it's about to drop on the NQ for a second. That second push. No.
Order cancelled.
Silly Lancy boy. Too far for the EMA, you know that. Might head down to 4771. Let's move the big leg. 771, yeah, just above the bottom here. I'd just like a bit more of a pullback before we come back, because we've had a leg and most of a leg here. So if we can get a pullback, that might be an option to go short here. Oh, interesting. 1, 2, 3. That's a triple test, surely, isn't it? Pull down 1, 2, 3, maybe. Still don't like this at the moment. And it is a bit sideways, so it could pop up, break out. If it does pop and break out, then I'll short that. Now, there's probably maybe going to be some longs, some shorts here. So if it pops up, breaks the shorts, that might trigger some longs and then drops. But I'm not going to get in here. I'm just going to hold that patience. And if I miss out, I miss out. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But it's doing what I expected to do. A little bit of sideways and followed by another drop. It doesn't look like it's far away. It almost starts to bounce, doesn't it? And then drops. So, yeah, there's often areas where there's traps here. It'll poke out, you'll go short. It'll turn around, take your stop off, come up here, and then drop. This is past here now, so yeah, see what I mean? If you'd have gone short there, that goes and that comes up. I wouldn't be surprised if it pops out the top. I would prefer on the NQ to get closer to the EMA, which would get us above here, which would get us a fail break out of here. And if we can do that, push up and then drop, I will 100% short that. We've been here and we've been here, so there is scope to come lower. So what I'd like to do is just stop out any possible shorts. There may be some there or there. So push up, push through the EMA, close bearish. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, we did the same up here, didn't we? Came down, went a bit sideways, had a pullback, and then a lower high and a drop. So I'd like that to get back up a bit closer, really, which would drag this would drag this above there. I want that to push up, and I want a bearish bar to close on top of that EMA to fade that. 1, 2, 3. It is sort of a triple test, but there's still yeah, push down, a few pulls back. If we can break above it, close above it, but bearish, I'm happy with a short there, possibly. Because you're going to have people going along here. We get a pullback close enough to the EMA for another drop down. Nice, that's what I wanted. So, see if we can get a bearish bar here and here to fade. Excuse me. Right, trigger above now, drop like a bloody stone. There we go.
Order submitted.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm hoping. I like the fact that it's triggered that. If that comes down nice and bearish, or even a lower high from there. Oh, I'm liking that. Come on, get me. Come on. It wasn't bearish enough for me, really, but this thing just dropped then. So if we can get a lower high here, that might be a better option. If that was bearish, I'd have faded that one, pushed down. A few options to go lower. I like what this is doing. It's hit the right place. It's triggered that big long, and then it's pushing down, but we're just too far down there at the moment. There's nothing I can do there. Wasn't bearish enough, really, because it could have triggered you and come up. I want a nice bearish bar there. Yeah, if we get a lower high, I feel we're not going to. But this is making lower highs, lower lows. A little bit of a pullback here may give us a lower high and then continue on down. EMA is facing down. We're clearly making lower highs, lower lows. I'd say there's a good chance we're going to break these bottoms, but it's definitely looping down, isn't it? So if we can get a lower high here, just check it's not stacking because that bearish bar's triggered. Possible second entry short. Let's see what happens here. I don't like the way that's pushing up.
Order cancelled.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's a bit choppy, isn't it, actually? It is rangy, but it's very choppy as well. It's bouncing at different places. Bottom, bottom, bottom. Every time it bounces here before it comes down here. So it might be one of these days. We're going to have to be really patient to get something. Well, if I can get a couple of points, I'm probably done for the day. There's enough volume today, though. Actually, quite a bit of volume. I thought it might have really feathered out even worse, but no sign of that. Okay, so we've got leg down, pull back, clearly above the EMA, and we still pull back. So maybe if we get a bearish bar here, it could still go down, but all in my hopes. Okay, possible second entry short. We've been above it and still come back, above it and still come back. So there is still a possibility. Stop yawning. It's quite weird how it does that, doesn't it? How long have I been trailing? I might go and make myself a coffee, actually. 40. So I passed out with a leg up. Yeah, it has gone a bit choppy, but hasn't it? Trouble is, it can catch you out there, can't it? In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and knock myself up a nice latte on my posh new machine. And I'll be back. Let it do its stuff. Hopefully I'll come back less yawning. I'm about to go again, actually. Okay, 5 minutes, I'll be back. Okay, cough it up. I'll try my best not to yawn. Right, what's going on? We are slowly coming down. Yeah, so went back up and continued down. So, so look, anytime, mate, anytime. Let's see. So maybe some trapped longs there. Failed, second entry short, triggered. Currently making lower lows, so I think there's a good chance of that coming down. There's a... oh no, there isn't. Oh. That's better. I feel stimulated already. Right, are you coming down? We went up, we came down, up, down, up, down. I think it's... the signals are okay at the moment. The trouble is, it is sideways just as much as it's coming down, so you could still get stung. You would think from looking at that it would more likely come down, but we can't take a trade on more than likely. So we've got a push up, we've got a leg and a leg. That might just be two legs back before we push up again. It's possible. So leg back, leg back. So we've got a leg up, leg back before we may move a bit higher. It's possible, and if that's the case, I would expect this to come back a little further. And in all fairness, this is looking kind of bearish now. Unfortunately, there's no setup there, so but that would make sense. Push up, leg back, leg back. Let's get it accurate. And this would be a penguin style trade. Let me just flick on. So maybe a second entry short. Don't come down too far. Okay, so that second entry short stroke failed second entry long was triggered. There'll be longs there, possibly there. And it's coming down, isn't it? Don't come down yet. It's just no setup, really. You couldn't have taken any of them, really. It didn't work. It stopped you out. And then we're just down again. But I was hoping we may get a lower high. It's a bit late now, though. So where do I expect this to come down to? So channel, I mean, you may have that. In fact, actually, that channel may fit. It's hard to say, really, but we've got this leg and leg, and then we're coming down. You'd probably expect to break these lows. You would have thought so. Which would give us this. So maybe we get something after all. Trouble is, needs to be up here, really, doesn't it? We need to get out before the lows. But it does look like a big push up, couple of legs back before we go again. Maybe. Maybe. Okay, maybe a hidden second entry short there. It's giving us all the right signs. I love the way it's interacting with the midline. I think there's a good chance of getting down there, at least to this level. And if we can get a trade up here, there's plenty of distance to get down there. Obviously, with the potential to get down to this this possible leg or close to it. Oh, hello, I like that. I like that. Now, if this needs to come down short, there's hidden second entry short. A nice bearish bar there would be nice. What's going on here, though? I'm all right, buddy. How you doing? Halo Eraser. We've spoke before, haven't we? I'm sure we have. Oh, we have. Where you been hiding? Probably sure we had. Survive. Till the weekend. Yeah. I thought we had. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. I'm really surprised how much volume there's a lot of volume because, to be fair, what time is it now? I finished around about 6 o'clock yesterday, which is an hour and a half away, and all we'd had up until then was this. That was up to 5:30 there, so that's all we'd had. Now we're an hour earlier than that. And we've had all that, so there's a lot of volume today. I'm quite surprised. It does look like 2 legs back, doesn't it? Maybe before we push up again. So I like the way it's sort of held there. So leg, a bit of a break in a leg. So if we can get something here, preferably a lower high. Trouble is, I'm not sure now. We've broken above there, so are we going to push up? Who knows? Because there's going to be some short stops around here, and definitely there. So that looks like a bit of a weak position anyway for a short. Excuse me. It's congested. Usually the weaker positions get taken out. That looks quite a strong. We've broken out nicely and pushed down. We've engulfed that bar, so that looks like a strong stop. This one does as well. So a lot of the times it'll do that, take out the weaker stops and then go in the direction we think, but we don't know until it starts to go down. So I'd like this to come down really bearish now, and then this, and that will kind of be okay. I don't want to see that though. Maybe some longs. Drop there. I think that actually looks better, doesn't it? I think that's very tempting. I'd like to see a failed second entry short trigger here and give us a lower high. Because if it pushes up and clicks that stop, the setup's not there anyway. What I'd like it to do is close around there and trigger. In which case I'll put a short stop, a short order below there. Let's see. Triangle once, triangle twice, possible long. I'd like that to trigger. So what I will do, keeping an eye on this, of course, is
Order submitted.
now if it breaks above there, it's null and void anyway. But what I'd like to do is see it trigger. More tick. Okay, that's enough. Now come down. Okay.
Order cancelled. This is starting to look quite bullish. Yeah, I think this is turning more into a range. Not a fan of that now. It's down a bit, but it's just very choppy. Okay, possible leg. Do I want a short here? I tend to not pick tops and bottoms. I'm crap at them. But we've been up here once, twice, 3 times from the bottom, so I still like to see that break those lows. So, to be honest with you, if I take a short here, I tend to think it's 50-50. Maybe a little bit more in the favour of winning, but not much more than that, because I just not very good at them. I noticed, was it Vlad that said he stopped picking tops and bottoms? I think he takes failures, second entries, triple tests, high lows, but I think he stays away from tops and bottoms. And I'm sure someone told me that, and his win percentage has climbed. A few people have told me that as well. But if I took that now, it would just be a bit of a gamble, because my confidence tells me that it's not necessarily going to work. Yeah, someone else has just posted this. Oh, you dumbass. So I'll just shut down.
Yeah, I got this leg up there and these 2 legs back. Someone else has just posted that. Push up, 1, 2 legs back. So I'm not the only one thinking that, which is encouraging. So leg back, leg back. Thing is, has it come back enough? Leg back, leg back. I think it needs to get above here, really, doesn't it? There is a possibility of a channel moving up there. Clay, how you doing, bud? How you been doing, bud? I've taken the month off to say good on you, mate. I'm doing all right, actually. I'm not doing too bad. I did have a reasonable loss the other day, about $700 loss, and managed to walk away, which was a new experience for me, in all fairness. I was kind of glad it happened. So I think the psychological side may be starting to dissipate a touch. So we'll see anyway. Yeah, it is. You know, one of the things about revenge trading, when you're in a trade, what I would do is when I was struggling and it wasn't looking good, excuse me, and I started revenge trading, I would usually get up to 10 contracts and just click sell or buy and just try and scrappily get 2 or 3 ticks. And when the market goes away from you, you can feel your heart beating in your mouth almost. You can feel it. Your neck's like in a vice. You're sweating. You're panicking. It's a horrible... You feel physically sick. It's a horrible feeling. And the last time I had it, I remember saying to myself, I do not want to feel like that again. And then when you're trading normal and nice and you're nice and calm and you wait for a setup, it feels good. And I kind of enjoy my trading. But when you get sucked into that revenge trading, it's a horrible, sickening feeling. And it's a feeling I really don't want anymore. And I think you do get to a point where you get sick of it, and hopefully... I don't like to say never in this business, because when I got my first PA up to $7,500, I thought I was going to be rich. So you never quite know. But yeah, it's when you're in the middle of that revenge trade and the market's going against you, and you may be like a point away from losing your account, it's a horrible feeling. And I remember last time I had it, I remember going downstairs and I felt my heart. I could literally hear my heart beating in my ear for about an hour after. That's how stressed I was. And I just don't want it anymore. But I think at some point you'll only put up with so much of it, and your mind will just go, don't do that again. So far so good. I don't know if you know what's going on here. In fact, you're a penguin guy, aren't you? I was just looking at that. Leg up, 2 legs back before we may make a move. Trouble is, when does the leg end? Does it come down here or what? You started using bookmap. Wow, that's the difference it's made. Yeah, I found that. You can watch it for free. You don't have to pay for it. You can just watch it live on YouTube. And I did that for a while. I think I might have had it on for about maybe 3 months, but I don't think I got to understand it as much as I probably should. But where I found it was really useful is in a trending market, not so much a range. But I did find that sometimes if I was looking to go short here, it would give me a bit of a clear picture, maybe not to. So so I got rid of it in the end, but I did get it back a week ago. But what I might do over the Christmas holidays, I might learn to use it, because I kind of get how it works, but I only think I've scratched the surface with it. So if you're going to use something, you at least need to give it, But then I hear a lot of people saying about order flow. There's a couple of other professional traders around that say they use it. So yeah, I may look into that, but I think it's shit. Max told me that before in an email. It's absolutely perfectly normal as a trader to look for ways to make things better, to assist, to help, to make, and it's perfectly fine to do that, and that's how you develop as a trader. And I still believe to this day that that's why Mac doesn't show us his trades, because he breaks his own rules, and rightly so he can do. You see enough patterns, sooner or later you'll start to go, well, I see every time it does that, it does this, so, and I think you'll start to use that. And I think that's how you develop yourself. Be quite a strong move there. So is that just going to fade this or what? But we've got a channel up there with a break. It didn't push up nowhere near as strong as that. But yeah, I think it's just human nature, isn't it, to to develop and just look for new ideas and new things. Are we going to push up there? We tended to sit on there, so if that finishes bullish, I'm tempted to go long there.
Order submitted.
It's going to, isn't it? Let me have a look. I'm going to get in on this early.
Order filled.
There we are. It's looking really strong, that is. There's probably going to be some stops up there as well, so I may just increase that fraction. What are we up to now? 275. Leg. Yeah, but I think you sort of owe it to yourself to look at these things, don't you? Okay, so that would take us up to another leg, take us up to there. I like the way this is taken out, stops there, so leg up, 2 legs back. We've had that thing, we push up, 2 legs back, and this looks like, it looks kind of quite strong, so nice big strong higher low there, which is triggered. Stops in anyway, risk is set, so it is what it is. I'm leaving it. 350 risk, a little bit more than I would have wanted, but to be fair, I'm in a few ticks. It was a reasonably big bar, so I'm in a few ticks early anyway, so it did trigger, so I've saved myself about 1, 2, 3 or 4 ticks there, so where are we? Okay. Yeah, it does look like this leg up. 2 attempts to go lower. Push up, pull back. Nice strong bar. Bounce straight off the EMA. Leg up, small pullback. Yeah, I like that. It is a higher low. Plenty of height up here. Leg, break, higher low. Usually they're quite accurate, those, but oh, hello, extra tick. Let's give that one.
Stop filled.
Okay, that didn't work as like I thought. Wow, I'm surprised that happened. Okay. Wow, I'm really surprised that happened. I really am. It was a really nice high low and a big strong bar, and that just turned on me. Oh well, okay. I'm really surprised. I thought that was an absolute corker. It just goes to show how choppy the market is. It literally just ate that up really quick. I gave it an extra tick and it didn't seem to make any difference. Let's have a look. There's 2 legs in that bullish move. Leg and a leg, and about that. Spike and channel. From here, you mean? From here. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, if it is, that was right at the top of it, wasn't it? I really like that one, but yeah, if it is a spike and channel, it would make sense. Just chop, yeah, maybe. Maybe. Sorry about the barking. Just kicked him out. So I like leg up, leg back. Kicking the dog. He's on the bed behind me looking out the window and barking. I think someone's just delivered a present, a parcel, I think. I can't reach him from here. I hate it when it just does this, choppy. So that looks like a channel up, doesn't it? With a break. So perhaps it is just a break out of that range. It's possible, isn't it? Uh, hmm. He's only skinny. It wouldn't last you long, that. Well, if we got a channel down with a break and we're coming down and making a lunar, oh, no, it's arranged over that. Yeah, I hate this. Yeah, it is. I'm going to call it. Yeah, I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you. You can get yourself in trouble here, can't you? Yeah. Could go up, could come down. Yeah. So it's going to go up or is it going to come? It's so hard to tell, isn't it? So I'm just going to stick that above me and have a bit of a bigger look at it. Hmm. Yeah, it may get to there, mate. You never know. Yeah, it's just, I mean, who knows what it's going to do there. Actually, in the grand scheme of things, I think that was a poor trade. We'd had a channel, we had a break and made a new high. Probably wasn't the best place to go long there. But I think it was the thought about 2 legs back, and it looked like it was pushing up for a. So I misread that one. That's the trouble when it's choppy. It could go bloody anywhere, really. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's going to be some longs there, isn't there? Longs there and probably there as well. I had a feeling that was going to do that. That's why I said there's going to be some longs there and there. Leg. Let's get rid of that. Possible second entry long on the NQ, just waiting for it to trigger. Yeah, push down to this area yet. That looks like a bit of an overshoot there, so I might have a go at this one.
Order submitted.
Leg, bit of an overshoot, see how it finishes.
Order cancelled. Okay, I think I'm going to knock up on the head for the day. I'm just getting a bit bored now. I've done, how long is it? 2 hours, 35 minutes. So that's it for today, folks. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what the volume will be like. Probably be a bit quiet, I dare say, but I'll turn up for an hour and we'll have a chat and that. So, okay, so I appreciate all your comments. And I will catch up with you same time tomorrow. So have a great evening, stay safe, and bye for now.